Hi, Facebook people. How are we doing today? Wherever you're at, whatever you've been doing, now you get to kick back and get to know somebody else in show business today. The whole purpose of Comic Spot interviews is so that you at home can get to know who these entertainers are, out kicking it really hard and doing things to make you laugh and smile and enjoy your life. Lately, you've been able to do that from home without some clothes on. Well, aren't you lucky? And today I have an esteemed guest coming out of Bay City, Oregon, Casey James in the other square. And let me read you his intro. Oh, I forgot to say something about my sponsor. Hey, my sponsor is the Veterans of Comedy. So if you ever, I'm a proud veteran of the Army, 73 to 76. So if you're speaking English, you have the men to thank, not me. I was just counting money. But anyway, yeah, and so when you need anybody to do jokes for private parties or big veterans affairs, hit up the veteransofcomedy.com. They're right there waiting, and you can look at all the bios and listen to videos before you pick someone. So let me read you the bio. I always ask everybody for a braggy introduction. So if it sounds braggy, it's not probably because he's braggy. It's because I wanted it. That's how I have fun. I have so much fun, Casey, reading these interviews. I usually mess them up. So I purposely try to say something funny so you don't notice what I'm messing up. It's called overcompensating as a geriatric. Okay, Casey James, that's him, is a co-owner of Quantum Global Broadcasting Network and Stock 'em Up, a domestic nonprofit. I've heard of it. As well as the host of both the Wonder Years After Dark and When the Gloves Come Off podcast on the Quantum Global Broadcasting Network on iHeartRadio. Yeah, you heard it, iHeart. That's the bomb. We're going to get to know him right now. With any further ado, I want to introduce you all at home with some of your clothes on to the Casey James. Woo! Hi, Casey.
Hey, nice. First, I would like to say, I just want to say to you, I saw recently, congratulations to you. I saw you were involved in a news story that went viral, went viral across the country. That was awesome. You got contacted by Steve Harvey, and I believe I saw somewhere that you got a small role in like an upcoming filming of something. Like, congrats to you on that. Go, Linda.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, this filming didn't involve me getting in on it. I was in a Zoom class through the pandemic with Joe Firestone of Comedy Central. I'm
Hey,
not in New York. And so they got to go to live places and they wound up, their show is on right now it's on the Peacock channel.
nice.
All these
Very cool.
seniors in a nursing home, and I could have been a part of it, but yeah.
Hey, you know what? But you made those connections. You know what I'm saying? It won't be
Yeah.
long before they make it out to the West Coast to do something, and you're right there. So,
Thank you, Casey. Thanks for saying something nice.
yeah, no problem.
You've been doing your homework.
Give credit where credit's due. I've been working really hard.
The mic.
A television show, and we had some problems with Disney. I just couldn't say it because I can say it now. And we actually had some legal battles, and we won. And since we won, we just signed a contract with a company called Rumble, who just actually bought out another major studio as of yesterday. And I can actually officially talk about it now. And so we will be actually making these shows. They're coming the Wonder Years After Dark, which is absolutely, because we've got like 4 episodes out now, and they're like pilot episodes done home. I mean, I'm making these from my phone.
Wow.
I literally, we were making these from my phone, and we just signed a huge deal. So we're actually ecstatic about that. On top of that, in the same week, we got our licensing from the federal government. We are now a federally recognized 501c3 nonprofit for Sock 'em Up, which our goal is to bring socks. The number one requested item out of all homeless shelters and rehousing programs that are socks, and they're the least donated item. So we wanted to fill that gap, and so we named our company Sock 'em Up because our goal is to bring combat sports, which are really big right now, popular, like MMA, fighting stuff, and those athletes together and getting donations and bringing socks to those organizations, because healthy feet are happy feet.
Yes.
Healthy feet make happy peeps.
Yeah. Have you
So-
ever had a period of time where you've been homeless, home challenged? I have.
Yes, I lived in my vehicle for a while, like literally lived out of my vehicle, hotel rooms in my vehicle. If I could afford a hotel room, I was in a hotel room, but if not, then I was in my car, and I slept a lot in my vehicle and moved around. Absolutely. So
Me too.
I understand the trials, the tribulations, and to me, there is no greater thing in life than a new pair of socks.
Nothing like it. Oh my gosh, you feel like a new woman when you get a pair of socks, even if you're a man.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as you put them on, and so I want to bring that. I want to stress that. I mean, it's a huge hole. You can check it out. We got our website will be going up here in a couple of days. It's been being built at www.sockemup.org. So we're really ecstatic and happy about that as well. So it's just been a big week, a lot of work, and a big week.
Oh my gosh, you ran through your whole life. There's nothing else to talk about.
I mean, that's just the last week I've had.
Where in the world? I'm from Oregon, and I don't know where Bay City is. Is it over by the bay?
Yeah, so we are right in between Garibaldi and Tillamook. It's literally a little town between Garibaldi and Tillamook, right off the bay there, off the ocean. I'm actually from Portland myself. I'm from Clackamas, Milwaukee area. That's where I was born and raised. I just moved pre-riots. A couple weeks into the pandemic, I was like, I'm out. I moved to the beach, and it was perfect timing, and it's just been a blessing from there.
Have you done any of the comedy with the people in Lincoln City that do comedy?
Oh yes, I've done a lot of the casino shows there. I was doing that a lot especially during the pandemic, because that was like one of the only places that was open was Chinook Winds, and so they were actually still doing comedy shows. And I did a lot of shows, Lincoln City, Newport, sometimes Astoria.
Wow, yeah. Super duper. So you're from Portland. And I'm from Portland. I graduated from David Douglas in 1969, which means I'm a little older than you. Shock.
Yep, I went through Rex Platinum. I actually graduated from Tillamook High School though, and that was 2001.
Wow. Do you like cheese? Do you like cheese and ice cream?
Well, I'm lactose intolerant, but I do love cheese. I can go without the ice cream. But I do like cheese.
I have a joke about ice cream. Do you want to hear it? I have to tell you. Okay. You can tell everybody in that area about it, especially if they know about Tillamook. I love ice cream so much that I could sit and eat it until I get diabetes. And then I would be lactose intolerant. It usually gets a bigger laugh. Is this thing on?
Yeah. That I live in cow country. It's all I watch these people on the internet flipping out about food shortages and the upcoming this and that, and I'm just thinking, I don't have that problem. Like we've got cows for days.
Usually out there in the Tillamook area, it floods. Every time it rains, the place floods.
Yes, we haven't had a major flood for a while, but they do have floods. Lucky for me, I'm in Bay City. I'm on top of the mountain hill, We're actually like the tsunami evacuation, like point route. Like is where everybody's supposed to meet up. Is my house.
And get stoned and ride it out.
Yeah, just hang out, guys. Just hang out. We can swim that later.
Do you have time for us to remind people who you are and how you grew up and how you got funny and stuff?
Sure, absolutely.
Why don't you go back to when you were a little kid and tell us your first recollection of being funny and getting recognized and encouraged, and go from there.
So I left home at an early age. I had graduated early. What happened was I was at Rex Putnam, and I moved to the beach to Tillamook, but they didn't want to let me into the high school, so they put me into like an alternative school where they just gave me these pamphlets, and each pamphlet was like a half a credit or a credit, and I took them home and I knocked them out in less than a week, all of them. Yeah, I just knocked them out, and then they were like, "Well, you can't do that." And they're like, "This is 2 years worth of work." And I'm like, "Well, I'm done." And so they're like, well, they didn't want to do anything. So they told me they wanted me to sit there 8 hours a day staring at like paint drying or something. So I literally walked, I'll never forget, I walked out of the school. I walked all the way, and it's in Tillamook, to my dad, where my dad was working. And I said, "I need $50." And he said, "What?" I said, "Give me $50. I'm going to the community college to take my GED." And I did. And I went and I paid the $50 and I took my GED. And it was the weirdest test I ever took because I was the only person in there not having it read to them. And personally, I thought literacy was part of the general education.
Oh my gosh.
So I knocked that out. And then, they send you your scores on this graph chart like the state does, which is really weird. And my score was off like the chart. Like it was just, boom, I scored super high. With my GED, I could go to any college I want. It was crazy. Like I didn't even need to take SAT test. You can do this with a GED test. If people don't know, you can just score really high. And so I ended up leaving home because there's nothing really. You only had a couple of choices in Tillamook, and I'm either gonna go work on a boat in a dairy field or in the woods. Like that's it. And manual labor just really wasn't my thing. So I answered an ad out of a paper, and I went door to door, and I took a magazine sales job where you go door to door selling magazines. I was 16 years old, and I ended up in California, and my first day there, somebody just basically gave me keys to a van, $100 bill, and said, "Here you go." And I really didn't know what I was doing.
And, oh my gosh.
And I made my way to that hotel. I had a good time, and the next day, I went out, I sold magazines. I didn't know what I was doing or anything. And I fell right in. I did really well at it. And I ended up knocking a door of somebody who was absolutely, I don't know how this, actually, I do know how this went down. But so I'm knocking doors, and I'm in these lockout apartments in Malibu or whatever. And I get in, and this guy opens the door and he lets me in. And there's people passed out all over the place. And he comes out and he takes a picture of me with a Polaroid camera, and I'm like, okay, this is even weirder, right? Like, what just happened? And he's like, "Come here." And he takes me in this room, and they've got this entire room of nothing but Polaroid pictures of people, right? And he adds my picture to the wall, and he's like, "Yeah, this is a party house, blah 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 blah." And and I was like, "Anybody famous? Like, it's got to be famous people, right?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, sure." So he's all showing me, and he's like, "How about this guy? Do you know this guy? Who this guy is?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "His name's Adrian. You ever met Adrian?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Devil Wears Prada, first season of Entourage." And I'm like, "Nope." And he goes, "Well, he's out there passed out on the couch. So if you're selling anything, that's who you got to sell." And so I'm looking at this picture, and I'm like, okay. So I walk out, and I walk in. Everybody's passed out all over the place. And there's bodies. I mean, it's like everywhere. It just looked like a major party, right? So I make my way into the kitchen area, and I'm like, well, and you got to understand, it's like 10 in the morning. I'm like, well, I'm going to have myself a drink while I'm leaving here with something, right? I'm not walking out of here with nothing. So I might as well get it in while I can. So I pour myself a drink, start making myself a drink. I'm watching people start to wrestle around and wake up. I mean, I was in there for maybe about a good half hour in the kitchen, just helping myself, getting the good buzz going. And they all start waking up, start talking. Now, the guy on the couch, looks like a beach bum. I mean, he's got an afro, full facial hair, beard. Not the dude I just saw in a picture. Does not look like a movie star at all. But that's the guy they told me to talk to. And one thing I've learned, if I'm in a room full of people and someone says that guy makes the decision, if I sell that guy, I sell everybody. So,
Oh my gosh.
so I started selling him magazines, right? And he really wasn't interested. And finally, he was like, "I tell you what." And this is what he did. He handed me a debit card with a PIN number and keys to a Mercedes, and said, "Go get what I need and come back."
That was a test.
This was a litmus test from hell. So now so I'm from Oregon, and when I was younger, I used to skate. Like when I was younger, I used to actually skate, and I got known for it. I was pretty good at it, and a skateboard. And so where I was, there was a skateboard shop that's very famous, and I had never been there, and I saw it. So here I am rolling this Mercedes with this car, and I'm like, so I stopped. And I went in there and I used the ATM there. I only pulled out what I told him I was going to take out. I didn't, I looked at stuff. I didn't do anything. I didn't take anything. I didn't spend anything I wasn't supposed to. I got back in the car and I went back, right? But I was gone maybe 45 minutes to an hour, which pretty reasonable California time going anywhere, I swear. I got back in and I went back up, and they were all totally cool. And the first thing he asked me was how the skate shop was. So, and I was like, I didn't buy anything. I was like, I had to go see it. And he's like, it's cool. And at the time, I had been going to the Comedy Store, doing few-minute sets at 4 in the morning, 3, the 3, 4 in the morning, when they let you on. And he goes, I hear you're funny. And I said, well, he goes, yeah. My buddy said he's seen you down at the Comedy Store. So they had. The guy who opened the door, who took the picture, let me in because he recognized me by chance. Not because I was selling anything, but because he recognized me. And so the whole thing was just awkwardly timed out, right? Just right place, right time, for everything. And he goes, yeah, okay, hang on. And he gets on his phone and he makes a reservation at Nobu for 150 people. I can't even, and this is when Nobu first opened. It's the hottest restaurant in California at the time. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm probably drooling a little bit because I'm a major foodie. And he tells me, are you coming? I go, man, I can't go. I can't afford no. He goes, I'm buying. He's like, it's on me. He's like, come on. He's like, come eat with us. And I'm like, how do you say no to that? Right. Next thing you know, I'm sitting with everybody from a show called Entourage, a show I'd never seen, by the way. I have no clue what it is. I've been living on the road and in and out of my car and hotel rooms selling magazines, right, for a living, and doing stand-up at just, anywhere I could. And next thing I know, I'm sitting there and I'm literally sitting next to people, just the most awkward. And I don't even know what to do. I'm just trying to hold my own, just order some food and eat, listening to the conversation around. Next thing I know, I'm being invited onto the lot into a writing group, being told no, we want, and from then and a lot of people who know me know this, but I wrote from season, I would like to say 2 to 4, but what happened is there was a big writer, a union strike halfway in between there. So season 3 is actually, if you watch season 3 of Entourage, it's actually 2 seasons long. It's double the amount of episodes. So I was there for season 2 and 3 of the writing of Entourage.
Oh my God, what was that like?
Awesome. I mean, what was even more awesome is I had never even seen the show. And I can tell you one of the biggest secrets ever. So check this out. So I had never seen the show. We got sat down on day 1 and told that HBO was about to go bankrupt. They had put all their money into everything. After The Sopranos, they had dumped all their money into Entourage. The first season was a flop. They didn't know what they were going to do. If we didn't do something, they were selling to Ted Turner. So we had to do something quick. Every one of us was supposed to go write a treatment for the season that night and come back. I'd never even seen the first season. I don't even know what we're talking about. So they give me these DVDs, okay? And I go home and I watch it. I still have to, not only do I have to watch a whole season of a show, but I'm supposed to write one, right? I copied the first season. No, okay, now if you watch when we went back and turned it in, they took my treatment. My treatment is the basis for all of season 2. So what's really crazy, Doug, his name's Doug. I took it for all of season 2. And what's really funny is if you watch season 1, episode 1, season 2, episode 1, they match, like from scene for scene. Like, it starts off with them landing on a plane at the airport. Boom, boom, boom. Like, it's all, and the whole season does that because I didn't know what I was doing.
That's hilarious. I remember I had you on before and interviewed, and I remember this whole story, and it's funnier the second time. It's like eating pizza in the morning. It's even better now.
Right? It totally is. Every time I tell it, it's like one of those things. It was one of those magical moments. You know what I'm saying? In life, where I thought I was getting a few free drinks. Somebody snapped a Polaroid. This shit's getting weird. The next thing you know, I'm at Nobu listening to some guy ask me if his calves look legit.
What you been doing lately? Through the pandemic, you worked at the casinos.
Yeah, I did.
Oregon.
What? After that, I set up this nonprofit. I decided, I've done a lot of things. I've done a lot of work. I needed, I can't keep doing the same thing and getting the same results, right? I need to do something. I need to pivot and do something else. So I used this time I figured it's a great opportunity to pivot. And I wanted to do something that allowed me to travel, go places, do things, and still be involved in the things that I enjoy doing. So I started a nonprofit with combat sports, trying to, help those in need.
Wonderful. Oh my gosh. So have some of the combat sports groups come on board?
Yeah, we're actually they've been very receptive. It's been actually, I have more work than I know what to do with right now. It's actually going a lot faster. We're all, a lot of it is just hinged on to stay compliant with the federal government. I have to get this website up and done because it has to have information that's available and whatnot. And it goes up here, like I said, in a week. And when that's up and said and done, it's all going to be just a ball downhill from there. It's going to go fast. So,
wow. So tell everybody about where they can hear you on your radio show, and where they can help how they can help your nonprofit, and where you're going to be performing, and all your social media.
Sure. So I have no upcoming performing dates. I'm okay with that. As of right now, they come sporadically. And then you can always check us out. We're on the Quantum Global Broadcasting Network on iHeartRadio. You can also check out any past episodes at Spreaker.com, Quantum Global Broadcasting Network there, QGBN. And then you can also find us on any of the social media networks, usually under QGBN, Quantum Global Broadcasting Network, the production company Stoner Eats, or by the name of the show, When the Gloves Come Off podcast, or the Wonder Years After Dark, hashtag WYAD. That's coming. We have the 4 pilot episodes, which are still out. You can take a look and enjoy, but we're going to have professional ones coming out soon. They'll all be restarted, so we're pretty stoked about that. And then check out www.sockemup.org. That'll be up in about a week or so, and from there you'll be able to find out how you can either just donate, if you want to donate money towards socks, or if you just want to donate socks in general, where you can go. There'll be drop-off locations as well as mailing options for you there, and we look forward to that.
I got to tell you, if you're listening right now, you got to go and watch his shows, support his comedy, find out when he's performing off of his pages on the internet, and do me a favor, if you have a heart at home, find $1 or $10 or something, because we both, Casey and I, have both experienced a little bit of homelessness. Both of us have lived in cars, in hotels. It could have been worse. And if you're really, really, really homeless, there is nothing like a brand new fresh pair of socks. it's equal to getting a shower once a week or once every 2 weeks. It's the bomb. And if you can provide a homeless person, no matter what reason they're homeless, you know, you don't need to judge, but all of us are what we've seen through the pandemic. All of us are like 1 inch away from being homeless ourselves. So I can't think of a better thing to get behind. And as soon as you're able to take donations, I'll want to be a monthly donor.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Linda.
You let me know when that's up and running and I can make donations whenever that is.
Awesome. You rock.
Yeah. So tell us the premises of your 2 shows that you have going on your network.
So When the Gloves Come Off is just kind of like a rant and rave show. It started, we called it When the Gloves Come Off because we started working with the combat sports leagues. And so we try to get guests on from the, you know, that are athletes and fighters or promotions, people that work in the industry. And it's basically a rant show of just what in the news has you so angered or fired up? Like, what is the hot button issue? And it's basically us just taking our hot button issues and letting everybody get hot about it. Like, when the gloves come off, just let them off and just let it go. Like, get it out, right? Voice your opinion, get your, you know, out there. It's okay. Like, and it's okay. You know, it's almost therapeutic. Just, you know, it's almost therapeutic. And then the other one is the Wonder Years After Dark is it's basically a review show where we basically took the old Wonder Years versus the new Wonder Years, and we do it episode for episode. So we take episode 1 of the old Wonder Years versus episode 2 of the new Wonder Year, or episode 1 of the new Wonder Years. I'm sorry. And then we kind of Mystery Science 3000 them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we, you know. It's kind of like a review, like what our thoughts are of the differences, you know, the similarities. And it was hard at first because, to be honest, the first couple episodes of the new one were very not good. Like, the pilot was terrible, which I've come to realize that it was an hour-long pilot that they split in half to make 2 shows. But by the time you get to episode 3 and 4, it's a completely different show. Different lighting, different studios that you can totally tell when the funding and the writers came in, you know. And by episode 4, shots fired, because but even in episode 3, we were kind of like, you know, Disney needs to step their game up. Like, you know, like they've taken this show and they've Disneyed it out, blah, blah, blah. But then by episode 4, you get I can't even make this up. You get a sexual, like, pussy eating reference. Then you get a rape joke. Then you get a slavery joke. Then you get a racist. I mean, all of this is within 12 minutes of a 27-minute Disney episode. I was like, shots fired.
Wow.
I was like, Fred just got savage.
You better be careful. You're going to wind up being a writer on season 3.
Oh, I hope so.
Wouldn't that be cool?
We've already told him I've already told him 3 or 4 times I'm for hire.
Cool. That's awesome.
And I beat their trademark, their copyright. There, you know, we had a little battle over some copyright issues, which I can legally talk about because I won. So
that's so cool. Congratulations on everything you've accomplished. Is there anything else that you want to say to people, humanity, comedians?
You know, just if you're feeling down or if you're having a bad time, just know that lower lows equal higher highs and good things are coming. So just stick with it. You know, if whatever you're doing it is you, then don't change it up because anybody. Just keep being you. Do what you do until it comes through. I mean, it's not always your time, but when it is your time, and as long as you're still doing you, it'll be your time. Just know it's coming.
Oh, that's so cool. Thank you so very much. You guys, that's Casey James in a nutshell. There's another interview on my YouTube, comedian Linda Marcus Smith. Don't forget to click subscribe. Tell them where they can subscribe to your shows.
YouTube, Facebook, rumble.com as of right now, Instagram, I mean, you name it, any social media place, iHeart, Quantum Global Broadcasting Network, QGBN, we're on them all.
Now that's your own broadcasting network. So are you ever looking for people to put shows on there and pay you?
As of right now, we're not, as we just started, we just signed the deal with Rumble. So they're monetizing everything. But I have a feeling here within the next 3 to 4 weeks, that's going to be a discussion between me and the other co-owner. In about
Nice.
5 or 6 weeks, we will probably be airing other people's shows. And it's not even so much for them to be to pay us, but have the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to make their own revenue with separate
Wonderful.
monetization. You know, I want to give everybody else the chance of, you know, being able to sell their own block of time, and then be able to sell your own advertisements, get your own sponsors, your own commercials, and actually get paid. Because I've worked in the radio game a long time, and there's been times where I worked for years not making. I mean, the benefits were cool. I got free gifts and got to go to shows and got to go out to eat, but it didn't pay my mortgage or my child support.
Exactly.
So, you know, when the money comes in, when I found out how they made money and I found out how I could make money, I want to give that same opportunity to everybody else.
That's so cool. If you hear of any broadcast network that goes out to the troops,
Yeah.
I want to do a daily talk show for the troops.
Yeah. You know, actually, I'll DM you when we get off here, but I have a friend who's works in like the military, stuff like that, and he has connections into an actual military network that does like television shows and things like that for the military and military broadcasting. So I can put you in touch with him.
Okay, perfect.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Casey. Thanks for
No
coming
problem.
on, taking time. You
Thank
guys
you.
follow
Bye.
him. Bye. Sock him up.
Awesome.